Okay, so we're going to study Panchatmika Tattva Veda. It's a short lecture. I have to teach you some things about Bija and things like that. Some things you may know, some things you may not. After this, we get into Mantra Shastra. Shunya and Bija. Shri Krishna holds the flute in the Shuddha Amrita Chakra, which plays in various chanda, and Kamadino yields the milk near the celestial wish-fulfilling tree, called the Kalpa Vriksha. Some of you will be worshipping Bal Gopal Krishna, study Kalpa Vriksha and Kalpa Druma Yoga. It's in the lesson on Lagna in our Jaimini lessons. There's a whole meditation on how you should meditate there. Yeah? Study that. There's a direct relation to the Kalpa Vriksha. It says lesson 1. Okay. Shri Krishna plays a certain rhythm or chanda, and Kamadeno produces the yields, which is Om, which flows down as the celestial milky Ganga. Ganges. This sound cannot be pronounced and is unmanifest. The stream of Om, their pitch and rhythm, is decided by the mood of Krishna expressed through the flute. Yes. It is from this level that the avatar descend into the universe. So from this Sudamrita Chakra, the avatar descend. Okay, let's continue. Cancel. Okay. The regular souls come only from here at the beginning of the Kalpa to enjoy the dance. So this Sudamrita Chakra is where we start from as souls. We start our descent from there. After that, we don't go back there until we get moksha. And we're just being recycled in the same place. Most don't want to go back home, engrossed by the dance of the universe called Leela. So this dance of life, this Leela, we're stuck in because we like it. You know, as Dennis says, we like. Now, unmanifest to manifest. None knows this form, and there is no name. Just Om flowing endlessly. He is the one God identified by the one word that is unmanifest and can be heard in the deepest samadhi. Men call him by names to express their hearts, but he has no name, for he is free and beyond every bondage. This one unmanifest sound does manifest as Om, as we know it, called the Stula or gross pranava, the unborn born in the Sudha Chakra. The manifestation is the three guna, Rajas, Sattva and Tamas. And the first identifiable trinity, Parama Brahma, Mahavishnu and Maheshwara, is the Parama level of identity based on guna. So when we speak of that initial stage, when Narayan is with his three Shaktis, then we refer to Parama Brahma, Mahavishnu and Maheshwara. They also go by the names Parama Brahma, Parama Vishnu and Parama Shiva. Same names. Om, therefore, begins as Hlim, Shlim and Klim, which are the bijas of Parama Brahma, Parama Vishnu and Parama Shiva. Omniscience, omnipresence and omnipotence, respectively. These are not yet materially manifested into the universe, and we're going to be dealing with understanding how they do manifest. Trimurti Guna Avatar. So Om became Lim, Shlim, Klim, which we know as these three, omniscience, omnipresence and omnipotence, or Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, as the Guna Devata for Rajas, Sattva and Tamas. These are described as Gati, Sthiti and Agati. Gati is movement, Sthiti is control of Agati and Gati, and Agati is stationary position. So we have two ends, one which is moving, one which is not moving, and one in between controlling the two. One which is movable signs, one which is fixed signs, and one in between controlling the two, dual signs. Control freaks and dual signs. Okay. Hlim Bija is Brahma. It has Rajas Guna. All this you know. It is Gati. It moves. And it manifests as Shakti. Okay. So when you learn initially about the Vedic philosophy, you first learn the three primal devatas are Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. This is what you learn. Uma. But you always wondered, how come Brahma is not worshipped and how this manifests? What is exactly going on? Since Brahma, for some reason, has some bias, or everybody is biased towards Brahma, and Vishnu and Shiva are manifesting. Well, here's the thing. Brahma, in manifest form, is like the Mother Shakti. The manifest form is Shakti, the unmanifest is Brahma. And when she manifests, this Hleem of Brahma becomes Hreem of Shakti. This is the relationship between Hleem and Hreem. Ra causes manifestation. And this is Shakti. And therefore Hreem is also called the Devi Pranava. Pranava means Om. So the Devi Pranava, or that which is the Om for the Devi, is Hreem. Shakti Pranava. Yes.
I'm trying to understand, like, we don't worship Brahma because he manifests as Shakti for us, and we worship the Shakti.
Yes.
But even in this table you've made,
yes,
Vishnu and Shiva
yes,
are there as the primal, force behind this.
Yes.
And then we
see, this is the problem. If we are worshipping Brahma in his form, we are accepting to be reborn. By worshipping Shakti, who is the manifestation of our form, we are accepting that we want our birth to be good. Okay? We're saying, let me be strong, so that I can rise, so I can go back. Understand? The Ra, the Agni, the fire, makes us rise and go back. So that is why we do not accept this Brahma worship. I mean, you worship Brahma, you get reborn. You can't accept that. Whereas Vishnu and Shiva have different focuses in mind. Shleem Bija is associated with Vishnu, Sattva Guna, and the movement of Sthiti. Sthiti refers to the state between the two movements of moving and not moving. Okay? It's the state in between. And manifest as the Avatara. And do so with Shreem Bija. So Shreem is the manifestation of Vishnu. Whenever we come to a stage which is like Pralaya, or the Yugas ending, or any stage in our life when something is ending, Vishnu begins reciting Shreem Bija. Shreem, Shreem, Shreem. Something is about to end. Shreem, Shreem. Why? So that we can persevere and cross that boundary and continue. This is what Sthiti means. That stage in between movements. Okay? He is therefore the sustainer, because he is preserving us beyond the stage where something is ending. For that reason, the Vishnu incarnates as an avatar at the end of the yuga, so that everybody who is part of the yuga can cross the yuga. If Vishnu does not incarnate, we cannot cross the yuga. He has to incarnate, otherwise we don't cross it.
And that's why they're called Yuga Avatar.
That's why they're called Yuga Avatar, yes. Because he is responsible for causing this transition, he's helping us pass this transition. He is worshipable. Okay? Whereas Brahma, he's making it again, rebirth. So he's not worshipable. We don't want that to start again. We do not accept that act that he's doing. And it's so unfortunate, because he's doing a big job of creating everybody. So we tend to worship him as Prajapati Brahma. And we do that with the Brahma Gayatri. There's a Brahma Gayatri. We worship him with. But we do not refer to him directly. We don't worship him directly. Because he was the Brahma was the one which created all the rishis. All the rishis are referred to with the name Brahmane. We worship them as Brahmane. Like to worship Atri, Om Atri Brahmane Nama. That's how we worship the rishis. I'll give you some more mantras later for this. Shiva is in his unmanifest form, in the form of clean bija. He is of tamas guna. And his direction or movement is no direction. Stoppage of movement. Agati, stopping direction. He is manifest as Rudra. So when this direction stops, see, Shiva in his unmanifest form is not doing anything to stop the creation. But he manifests as Rudra, so Rudra is the one stopping the creation. We know this is Rudra, and therefore when Rudra leaves, the creation starts stopping. It ends. Life is ended. For you or somebody else or the universe or place, a town, whichever is the case. Rudra's leaving causes the universe to end. And this Kreem Bija over here enables this event to happen. Oh, wait a minute then. So, if you do Kreem Bija, you're ending something? Not exactly. Kreem Bija helps you overcome that end. Okay? Kreem is Kali Bija. Kali is worshipped as the Mahavidya of Saturn. So, if she's supposed to give you Mahavidya of Saturn, that means Vidya, education, Mahavidya, the highest, the greatest education of Saturn. Saturn is all about trying to live long, understanding how to live long, overcoming suffering, overcoming all the problems which we have in our life, sorrow, and one day dying. Somebody's going to die, you have to see that sorrow of somebody else dying. You live long, see other people suffering and dying. Finally you die yourself. Saturn is all about that. How do you get the proper knowledge to understand Saturn? Kali Bija, Kreem. You will understand it. And you will no longer be afraid of dying, he said for this. Ghosts cannot even stand in front of you in this Bija. Okay? They cannot. So, Kali is teaching us this with Kreem Bija. But what is really happening is, Shiva is manifesting as Rudra with Kreem Bija. Now, we very much like to worship Shakti with Kreem Bija. And Vishnu, or the avatar of Vishnu with Shreem Bija. So Hreem, Shreem, that all makes sense to us. But this Kreem Bija we're not so fond of, because we don't like the idea that something is ending. We don't like this idea that something is ending. So we want to worship Shiva in the state before something ends. In the unmanifest state. We appreciate it, but we don't really want to deal with this at this present stage. So we worship with Hreem, Shreem, Kleem. Like you'll ask, why is it Hreem, Shreem, Kleem, not Hreem, Shreem, Kreem? Because the Kleem Bija allows us to refer to that same state of Shiva before the end. Unmanifest Shiva.
Could you call it the highest form?
Highest form of Shiva?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I could, yes.
Because in the unmanifest form it is that which is all over.
Yes.
Can we use this to end something very quickly?
Cream? Yes.
Cream.
Yes.
Kling is the Vicha of Vishnu.
Yes. How interesting. So the same bija, which is the unmanifest form of Shiva, is a means for you to understand the Shuddha Amrita Chakra, which is where the Krishna is sitting, playing the flute. It's a funny correlation, isn't it? Interesting correlation. They are linked. They are linked. Now we'll go further into the manifestation of Aum. In addition to the guna, Aum also manifests as the Dvadasa Aditya, the 12 suns. Okay? The soul of the universe, everything, is defined by these 12 suns. Also as the Panchatma, 5 types of soul dominations of karma symbolized by these souls, Akshara. So let's get into it and see what's about. Okay, here we go. Here are some of these sounds of Sanskrit, the vowels. There are 4 sounds here which are excluded. Remember? R, ri, l, li. They're out. And we have 12 left. These 12 become the signs, the sounds of the signs. A, I, U, E, I, O, Au, Ah. And we will correlate them to the signs. A is in Aries. A is in Taurus. E is in Gemini. E is in Cancer. You'll notice that all even signs have long sounds. All even signs have Shakti. Okay. They're also called Laghu. Laghu. Laghu means, sorry. Oh, they're not called Laghu. The short ones are called Laghu.
Yes, Guru.
The long ones are called Guru. So, one who has Shakti has Guru. Okay. Interesting. Therefore also, among these sounds, 6 of them are considered long sounds. Now, let me stay here before I get to these other ones down here. They're important, but let's stay here for a second. So you want to worship the 12 signs, right? The 12 signs of the zodiac. You can simply say A, I, U, U, E, I, O, Au, Ah. Now, to worship them, you need to put the Visarga. Sorry, the Bindu. See this? This is Chandra Bindu. There's a Chandra and a Bindu. Okay, a dot. We want to put the dot on all sounds because then they are worshipable. So it becomes im, 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 aum, This is ah,
Is
ah. Okay. So now this is basically a circular movement, right? The zodiac, it's moving in a circular movement, like a chakra moving around. So let us say I want this chakra to start moving, this zodiac chakra of mine, and I want to do it with my Ishtadevata mantra. Which mantra should I choose? I'll choose Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's a nice mantra, so let me try that. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll change it slightly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 This movement around protects the pranas. If you do this, it starts activating the Sudarshan chakra in you. We talked about how the 12 signs and the 12th house is related to the Sudarshan chakra earlier. Your personal Sudarshan chakra, how to get it to move, how to make it work. You can do it with these 12 sounds. It's a very powerful way of activating the Ishtadevata. And when you do it, what is actually happening is all your 12 signs in the zodiac are being infused with the energy of your Ishtadevata. All 12. And it protects the soul. Completely protects the soul. Now, if you wanted to know about a mantra for black magic, the Ishtadevata mantra with these bejas, all problems gone. All of them. Knowing this, when Ravana gave these beautiful mantras, he said, okay, Amrita Varchase Swaha is an important mantra to ensure that our health is protected. So he said, Now, to really cause this protection, we need these swaras, because these vowels or swaras protect life. So, he derived this method. Okay. Recite the 12 vowels before saying Amrita Varchase Swaha. So, Om, Im, Em, Aim, Aum, Amrita Varchase Swaha. And he said, well, we should be able to do more than this, because these vowels are just infusing life. They're good. But then he said, no, I want something more. I want to be able to infuse the soul in the mantra. So if I do that, the soul will be kept in this world. Okay. New health mantra, Ravana said. Soul's name is either Atma. Atma relates to these vowels. There's another word of the soul called Hamsa. Hamsa. So he said, I will take Ham and I'll take Sa. Note, Ham, the first sound, Ha, and then A, and then the Bindu. That's like saying the first sound here, Hum. And then Sa, that's S-A Visarga. That's Sa at the end. See that? So then he decided, okay, I will take Hum and do all the vowels, and Sa and do all the vowel sounds with it. And then say Amrita Varchase Swaha. And by doing that, I've infused my soul in this world. It cannot leave. I cannot suffer. My health has to be okay if I do this. So how do you do it? Om Hum Ham Him Him Hem Hem Hum Ha. Sam Sam Sim Sim Sum Sum Sem Sem Som Saum Sam Sa. Amrita Varchase Swaha. And then we got to know in the tradition, wow, this is one heck of a method of making the soul strong. And we have 12 signs. So what did we do? Okay. Take the chart. Do we have a chart here? Take the chart. Draw it an East Indian format, preferably. East Indian is the best. Then you have Aries at the top and you can go round. Okay? And then take first some yellow sandal paste. And then put, first say Om. Then in Aries you put Hum. Then some more sandal paste in Taurus, Ham. Then Gemini, Him. Him. Hum. Hum. Hem. Haim. Hom. Haum. Hum. Ha. Then Sindur. Sam Sam, Sim Sim, Sum Sum, Sem Sem, Som Saum, Sam Sa. You're in the middle of the chart. Amrita Varchase Swaha. Of course, I must advise you, after saying Hum 12 times, Hum, Ham, Him, Him, then Sam goes 12 times, Sam, Sam, Sim, Sim, etc. End with Hamsa. Then Amrita Varchase Swaha. End with Hamsa. Then say Amrita Varchase Swaha. Give this to clients who are facing health problems and tell them to recite this 108 times with a glass of water offered to the Ishta Devata. After that, drink the water. This can be recited regardless of your client's preferences, vegetarian or not, whatever it is, you can do this. No matter what. Everybody can do this. Okay?
Amrita Chakra.
I don't really understand fully.
Which part? Tell me.
Last part.
About worshipping the chart.
Yes.
You, with every sound, there are 12 sounds, you put one piece of sandal paste in a sign. You start from Aries. Once you've covered the 12 signs once, then you do it again with the second 12 sounds. And you do it again. The Sindur in this case was Sun. Okay? After that, you say Hamsa. Then you say Amrita Varchase Swaha.
Which mantra they should recite? Means Hamsa mantra. Hamsa, Hamsa.
The whole mantra is as I've said.
Whole mantra.
Him, him, hum, hum, hem, hem, hum, 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 ha. Sam, sam, sim, sim, sum, sum, sem, sem, som, sound, Samsa. Then Hamsa. Amritavarchase Swaha. That is the mantra. Starting with Om.
108 times.
If you do it 108 times, wow. That is great.
Just one times.
No, I say do it at least 27 times. Do 54 times. Do 108, your life is made for that day. You're fine. You'll be fine. Because your soul cannot move out of your body. Your soul is here and it wants to be here. It'll stay fine. It'll be happy. Hamsa. A lot of the mantras in Sanskrit are based on this connection of these vowels.
So should we be writing also the our grass, not our chant?
Draw the whole chant.
Whole
But
chant.
always start from Aries.
Mm.
Always start the process of worshipping the signs from Aries. Because these are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and so on. These are the sounds of their signs. So I've given you about 3 methods now, right?
We'll soon be immortal, we all know.
I'm telling you, it's powerful stuff. That Ramana fellow, he was smart. Then later everybody realized he was deriving it from other places and they could consolidate the entire knowledge. But he was the one who gave these Amrita Varchase mantras and they really, really, really work. Okay?
He was a very accomplished
He was a Brahmana.
Brahmana.
Very accomplished. Kashyapa Gotra. Okay. Now of these 12, these last 2 here, this Ang and Ah, are interesting. This fellow is Badakstan, right? Aquarius, 11th house. So he causes us to be bound in this world. Okay? This Ah is Pisces, Moksha. Right? He calls us to leave this world. So our entry is through Aquarius and our exit is Pisces. Most of us only enter and exit through Aquarius. One day we'll get exit through Pisces, hopefully. Okay? You see this one is called Bindu, right? Bindu. So Bindu, we enter through the Bindu Visarga chakra. Yes. So this is the Bindu chakra. Right here, Aquarius. Now, these 2 here are entry point and exit point. So we'll remove them. Now we have 10 left. Okay? Of these 10, half of them are having Shakti. So that leaves 5. As a result of which we have 5 tattva arising out of this. Yeah? Where the first is Vayu. Now, the way I remember this is when I was taught the semi-vowels. I heard Ya. Ya is Vayu. So Ya is the first one, Vayu. Ra is Agni. So second one is Agni. Yara La. La, Prithvi. So third one is Prithvi. Fourth one is Va. Va is Jala. So fourth one is Jala. Ha. Ha is Akash. So fifth one is Akash. And this is the same system which will be used for all the sounds in Sanskrit. This order, Vayu, Agni, Prithvi, Jala, Akash, all the time. So based on that, I can know what each sound's tattva is. If I know its tattva, then I can cause it to do various things. For example, you have heard in Sanskrit about these Ka-varga, Ya-varga, etc. to get Katapayadi-varga, right? So the first one was Ka, right? Ga, Gha, and then Na, or Na. Ka, Ga, Na. 5. They relate to the same 5 sounds. So Ka is the first one, right? So Ka is Vayu. Now these first 5 sounds, which planet was it associated with?
Vayu Saturn.
No. The whole Ka, Ga, Nga was associated with one planet only. Mars, remember? Like Cha, Ja, Nya was Venus. Then we had the Guru and Buddha Varga. Ta, Ta, Da, Da, Na, and Ta, Ta, Da, Da, Na. So Ka, right? Ka. So Ka. Now, we know all these 5 are Mars, right? What does Mars have to do with? strength of the body. Right? Strength of the body. So, if I want the bars to move, I want the nerves to move faster, be stronger, I say ka, because vayu is movement. What if I want the nerves to heat up? I say ka, agni, ka. Second one is ka. What if I want them to slow down, to be stable, fixed? Third one is prithvi, right? Ga, gam, ganapataye tubhyam, gam. Ganesha's mantra and name comes from Prithvi Tattva. He causes Mars to stop running around in circles. Gam, settle down, Mars. Gam, settle down. Or, if I want it to cool down, I want my nerves to cool down. Gam. Right? So like that. All the sounds in Sanskrit can be effective. This becomes very interesting when we talk of Venus's sounds. You know? Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Because Venus has to do with the liquids in our body. Right? The liquids. Of which one of these sounds actually is part of a very important mantra called Jum Bija. Like Om Jum Sa, Om Jum Sa. That Jum is very important for longevity. Now in this Venus Varga, there's Cha, then Cha, then Ja. So Ja is the third one. Here, what is the third Tattva?
Prithvi.
See that? Prithvi Tattva. So what is happening when I say Jum? I'm activating Venus and the Prithvi Tattva. What does this mean? There are some liquids in our body, and some of these are hormones. And they relate to Prithvi. So when I say Jum, I'm saying that the hormones should be stronger or reproduced. Produce new hormones. Jum, Jum. Flush out the old ones and produce new ones. Jum, Jum. So, you can completely rejuvenate the body with just this one sound. Okay? Mantra Shastra. In which we get into the bijas of all the sounds which are available, and then you know the purpose of all the sounds. Finally, at some stage, you will find one sound associated with each graha and rashi in your chant. So that you have a graha, but you can simply refer to him by one sound. By knowing this. But first you need to understand the sounds and their relevance to the grahas and the tattvas. Let's see. Hamsa. Am, im, aim. Am, im, em, are the 5 vowels that can either initiate a name or follow a consonant. This is the soul element, dominant as Vayu, Agni, Prithvi, Jala and Akash respectively. It is called Hamsa, the soul. They are Laghu Atmakshar, that means they are short sounds for the soul. Sanjay is consisting of the sound Sam. This Sam defines Sanjay. Because we take the first sound, which is S, the Sa sound, and we add This makes the sound for his soul Sam. He is created with Sam. The soul, which is remember we talked about Aquarius of has been taken into captivity and bondage by another sound, which is Sa, which is the manifestation, or which is the cause of manifestation and control of the body. So if you take the first sound of your name and add you have the sound which caused your soul to get into your body. That sound was being recited when your soul entered your body. Why do we need to know this? Because if you know the sound, you know how to overcome the bondage of the body. Okay? You can consolidate the soul's relationship with the body. How long did I talk? Now, after the soul has entered the body with one sound, the body has to be created with one of the Guru Atma Akshara. So first we had Lagu Atma Akshara. Lagu means short. Then we have Guru Atma Akshara. Guru means long. So we're going to take the long vowels now. And the long vowels are associated with the mother. They're feminine. And who else but the mother can create your body? So we need to take those sounds. The longer feminine syllables, which is the body of the Mother Durga for delivery. So you're being delivered through the long sounds. And they are A, E, U, I, O. And are associated with Vayu, Agni, Prithvi, Jala and Akash respectively. Durga with the crescent moon or Somnath. Then it is implanted into this manifested world. The bija is the seed. The bija is the seed which creates the body, after which birth happens. The name itself holds the secret to the predominant element in that causes the bija to manifest from the hamsa. Okay? Do you understand, Dennis?
You kind of lost me. You kind of lost me on part 2.
Part 2. See, when your soul is entering the body, the one who's creating it is Durga with Somnath. The crescent moon is a reference to Somnath. Okay? Then, once your soul is entering this world, it has to be implanted into the manifest world. Through that, there's another sound. And that sound is a bija. First we had Hamsa. Now we have to find bija. Bija means seed. Hamsa refers to soul. But bija means a seed. And that seed is creating the body. Okay? If you know that sound, then you can overcome the bondage of the body. Okay? The name itself holds the secret to the predominant element that causes the bija to manifest from the hamsa. So going from hamsa to bija is what we're doing now.
So our own name holds the secret to our existence.
Yes. Everything is created from sound. Everything. Your name has caused your soul to come. And that answer lies in the beginning of the name itself. How do we do this? The second phoneme, that means the second akshara, actually would be matra. The appropriate word is matra, but we'll use the word phoneme. In the name is the secret key. One who knows this can release the bondage by realizing his divine self. Let's see how. You got first that for Sanjay it is sam. Okay? For Mutlu it is mam. Same principle. First letter, Diego,
Dim.
dum.
Dum.
Dum. Not dim. Dum. It's always which is added. Always Sandeep, sam. Dennis, the same as Diego. Dum. Ognian, om. See, om. Maya, mum.
Same.
Visti, bum. Okay?
That is Kamsa.
That is your hamsa.
But how do you go to that which created us and then
Bija.
Yeah.
You have to do bija now.
Okay.
The entire understanding of this is coming from Dattatreya. Dattatreya Upanishad gives this process where it starts with the hamsa, then the bija, and then the mantras become more and more elaborate. Okay? If you ever have to understand mantra shastra, you must go through Dattatreya Upanishad. And I'm actually giving you these steps now. He has described them in a more systematic, very coded manner also to some extent. Here's the derivation, so you'll understand it. Akshara are arranged in groups of 5 as taught earlier in Vedic numerology. That means the vowel sounds are grouped in 5. Now for Dattatreya, here, the first sound is da, right? Da. And the second sound is ta. Data. The hamsa of the name is dam because we add da and as we've done before. And remember, it's short, not dam, but dam. Ta is the second sound we're going to analyze now. Okay? It's the first syllable of Jupiter's akshara. So, remember the table? This ta. If you remember the table, ta, ta, da, dha, na. So this ta is the first sound. Correct?
Yes.
It's the first sound. First sound, if you remember our previous group, first sound is vayu. Right?
Yes.
Like second was?
Agni,
Third is?
Prithvi,
Fourth is?
Jala,
Fifth?
Akash.
Very good. Good. This will be easy for you. So ta was first group.
Yes.
So it must be first vowel, vayu.
Yes.
The first vayu vowel is a in its long form.
Oh, you're not taking the short but the long form every time.
Now we're going to guru. First it was lagu, now it's guru. Okay? Because why? The long forms are the mother. The bija your body will only be created with the mother. So you need long forms when you talk of bija. You need short form when we talk of hamsa. Okay? So, add the long A to the first sound, da. Okay? So if you do that, you will get dam. Okay?
But this is what created him.
This is what created him.
11th. That's the same as the 11th house.
No. Da-am. Okay? It can also be doom, deem, dame. Alright? This is what created his body. This is what ensured his soul could enter and stay in the body. Yes?
Why is this simply added vayu syllable to dam and it just gets dam with a
Long.
a? Why it is
See.
not added at the end?
I mean dama.
Dama.
Ha. See, this is something people commonly do. So that's what's difficult to understand. What is happening is this hamsa is dam, right?
Yes.
Now if we're adding a sound, a vowel to it, it means we're actually adding it here. We're adding it in the vowel sound. Because what is happening when we are going from hamsa to bija is simply the vowel is changing. The vowel is changing only. And our purpose of doing this exercise is to find that vowel which is going to sit in front of da.
You are infusing the mother into the soul. Somehow.
Yes. Actually, the process is in reverse as far as we understand, but that is how it gets infused in the mother. It's as if the soul must take that new sound to be in the mother and stay there. So that's done with dam for Tathya. Let's take another example. We have a few examples to go through so we can get it. Once we get it, we can try on our own charts, okay? Bija Vyasa illustration. Vyasa, title used by any Parameshti guru for a yuga. Okay, that's a separate topic. In Kali Yuga, Veda Vyasa was the person called Krishna Dvaipayana. So Vyasa is a title. Now, let's take the title. The title consists of Vyasa, which is Vya, A, and Sa. Now, how to find Hamsa of Vyasa? That's easy. You take the first consonant sounds and add so that becomes Vyam.
And as you always do the same approach.
Always, all Hamsa, like I did for all of you.
Because creation, you need to put creation into the...
You need to add that Hamsa bija, that Hamsa sound.
The seed of creation.
Seed, which is Aquarius. You were born. Here you go. Yes.
Why? Sorry. Why you put vyasa like vy? Vyasa. Why didn't you put vam and not vyam?
Because in his name, that vya is one syllable. It's one akshara. It's not vaya. It's vya. That's his name. Vya.
That's the
Yes.
separate sound.
It's one consonant then. Or rather, it would be more appropriate to say one akshara. Like if I clap vyasa, I get vya and I get sa. I don't get vayasa. I don't. It's vyasa. So, that vya in the beginning has to be kept as just vya. Okay? What will you do in case of Jens's case? Yam, correct? Good. You got it.
Okay, we're not doing katapari here.
No. This is just taking the sounds and breaking up. Well, you have to get the first sound right. Okay? So his hamsa of the name Vyasa becomes Vyam. Now, the next sound, have you seen in the break up here? Vyasa, right? So the next sound is actually this ah. Because in Sanskrit, when we break up the sounds, a long A is considered standing alone. If it had been just Vyasa, then see here in Sanskrit, the Devanagari, it says Vya, then there's an ah there. That line is the ah, elongated ah, and then sa. So Vyasa, Vyasa. So if a person has a long A in their name, we have to consider that as the following sound. Therefore, when we see this breakup of Vyasa, it's not Vyasa, it's Vyasa. It implies that the first syllable following Vya is ah. So we go down here and we see ah is the first syllable of the vowel sounds. The first syllable of the vowel sounds is ah. It is Vayu, correct? Therefore, also we have to take that sound and add to the consonant that started. Okay? So the bija becomes this vyam plus a long A, which we derived up here. This becomes vyam. So the bija for the name Vyasa, or Vyasa, sorry, is vyam. So if I want to worship Vyasa, I can do Vyam, Vyasa, Devaya Namah.
Just what I don't understand is
Yes.
how can we find this is first syllable of San Akshara from this Katapatai Varga?
Katapayadi.
Yes, can you show me from here?
How it's first syllable of Sanraga? It's the first among the vowels.
Yes, it is A, but
Let me show you here. Here's where we dealt with it. These are the vowels, right? Yes. Now we have the short form and long form, right?
yes,
They all belong to this Vayu group.
okay.
Therefore,
Why?
both and are the long ones.
But why San?
All vowels are San.
Okay, this different table then, not this table. We are not using this
Well,
table.
in your Katapayadi table, you only have Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Moon, and Saturn, right?
Yeah.
And then you would have noted somewhere that all vowels are Sun. Sun is the Graha, which is also there for all the vowels. Yeah? Here, keep in mind, though the other sounds only have 5 sounds, when we come to vowels, we divide these 12 or 10 into 5 groups as well. That is why this table is necessary. You'll see, and A are both Vayu. So they're both in the first group. E and E are both Agni. So they're both in the first group. Okay? I have to tell you something to avoid some confusion now. See, what if there was no long A?
Then
Would be Vyasa.
It'll be
Then the
Vyasa.
next,
Vyasa.
syllable would be Sa.
So that means this would be disappearing, right?
Okay.
yeah.
Okay?
So you take
Then you don't put short A here. then it becomes vyasa. And this becomes the second sound.
So
Which
it
will
will
be
then it'll be more vyas.
No. We'll get to what happens when you do that. But do you understand that if I remove the long A from vyasa, vyasa to become vyasa, that means this goes away. Then I can also not put short A in here instead. Do you understand that?
The second sound sa. Sa is all
what would be for the second sound?
What
That's
is-
sa.
It'll be sa.
What group?
That's a separate issue
Mhm.
that we'll get to. But I want you to first understand that let's say you have this name, vyasa, and you say vaya, short A, sa, a. Okay? I don't want you to put vaya over here and then over there and then sa over there. Because this can cause a lot of confusion. In Sanskrit, we take the first sound, even with its vowel, as being one sound in itself. And only if it is elongated do we consider that as a separate second sound. And the reason is in how they write it. You see here, that curve over there and that which looks like a Y is vya. And it has the vya even with the vowel sound just because that line is there. Then there's a second line. That second line is the elongated A. And then comes the sa in the end. As a result of which here, this elongated A is a separate sound. But if I remove it, then this is one sound and this is another sound with its vowel sound. Sanskrit works like that. As a result of which the second sound is not but it becomes sa.
Most of us don't have this kind of name.
But I thought that adding any vowel after consonant is not considered as separate, actually. Like, for example,
In
log A-
Katapayadi it's not, but in this system it is.
I thought that there's only one system operating.
No. You see, the only thing is that in Katapayadi, if there can be if there are vowels in between, then they don't get a value unless they are separate vowels, like they're separating a word somewhere. Okay? Then they can get a zero value, like you get actually a zero.
half zero.
Exactly. So
Yes, but usually, sorry to interrupt you, but usually it's all in forms of, I don't know, maybe this adding above is for I or something.
I.
Yeah. Then it's not separate.
it's not separate now, it's a part of it. But that's as far as Katapayadi is concerned. Okay.
But for these purposes,
For
we
this
separate
purpose,
every,
it's a separate.
unless it's default R. Short
Exactly. Unless it's schwa, we call this schwa, that the default R which comes.
R.
Unless it's schwa, you count the vowels which follow. All of them.
Oh, okay.
I know. So in Visti, the E I have to take into account.
Then I have to take into account R in my case. Because it's
Ma,
long.
Is it Maya or is
Maya.
it Maya?
Maya.
Maya. So is it long A or short A?
Short A.
Short A, Maya.
No,
If it's short A, it's Maya.
No,
it would be
long A.
maya,
Ah,
maya.
Maya.
It is
Maya.
M-A-Y-A. Everything is
Maya, right?
Maya.
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 Not Maya.
Not Maya, but Maya. So then it's long A.
Long A.
Yeah.
Long A. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay?
Then I don't take I take R as
You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem with A sounds. With other vowel sounds, no problem. Okay? Let's take another example. Ramana Maharishi. So let's say you want a bija to worship Ramana Maharishi. Now the previous example was to tell you of the complexity of vowel sounds involved in this. Now we will take cases where there is not a distinct vowel sound other than shwa following. Ramana Maharishi. Ramana is written like that in Sanskrit. It becomes Ramana. These are also the three parts of the name. Ra is the first part, Ma is the second part, Na is the third part. The Hamsa is easy. Ra plus Ang. Ram. Ma is the second part. Ma is the fifth syllable of Saturn's Akshara. Remember Saturn's Akshara? Pa, Fa, Ba, Bha, Ma.
All these are Akash. Pa, pa, ba, ba, ma.
Not all of them. Only Ma is Akash.
Ah.
Pa, for example, is Vayu.
Yeah, and Ba is Prithvi and so on.
Exactly.
Whole
Each 5 parts have each their part. Pa is Vayu, Fa is Agni, Bha is Prithvi,
Prithvi,
Bha, sorry, is
Jala.
Jala, and Ma is Akash.
Same going ka 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 ka.
Exactly.
And repeat. And repeat.
Exactly.
Repeat.
For every 5 it repeats.
Tak, tak, tak. Perfect.
Mislim da.
So what's the next step? Ruhi?
Huh. So we found out the first sound was Ra and the second sound is Ma, right? Now tell me, among the vowel sounds, which is the 5th sound? Among the vowels, which is the 5th sound?
Vaju.
Because we said Ma is the second one, which is following, the sound following, and it's the 5th sound in Saturn's Varga. So now find the 5th sound, sorry, among the vowels. And that is the Akash Swara, the Akash vowel.
Oh.
Are you sure? Let me go back and see.
No.
Akasha,
Oh.
O and Ao.
But-
You have to divide them. You have to be sure you get them right. Divide them. Among these, we want the long one, right? Among O and Ao?
Oh.
Ao. So let's go back. So,
Okay.
Ram was Ao, Raum. When you do Raum mantra, you're worshipping Ramana Maharishi.
We don't use Atmalinga, alright?
You mean those Angana? We don't use.
No.
You don't
And
use.
Ach, no.
Exactly, just watch him. These last two, Angana, Atmalinga.
Without this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Then we have the remainder. Small break. After the break, I want to hear your views on what is your Atma Bijas.